Hello, and welcome to Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. If you are not getting the results you are looking for from your digital marketing efforts, this is the podcast for you. And now, here's the host of our show, the local business guy himself, Frank Deming.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday, everyone. This is Frank Deming, the local business guy, and this is episode number 9 of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses. Now, before we get started with today's content, I want to first remind you guys that you can, if you do not want to miss out on any of the content that I put out each week, hit the subscribe button here on this page, and that way you get notified whenever a new episode is coming out. And I'm hoping you guys are benefiting from this because it's something that a lot of people who have been telling me on LinkedIn. A lot of people have been private messaging me, so I'm looking like there's some information that people are actually benefiting from. So I really, really enjoy that, and I want to continue doing that. So keep the messages coming, keep the suggestions coming as for topics, etc., etc. And if you want to be a guest on our show, if you want to be interviewed on our show, just hit the show notes, look around in the show notes, and either email us or click the contact us button, and we'll make sure that we schedule you for an interview or something. So, without further ado, let me go on with today's content. Now, this came as a result of a request from one of my listeners. Looks like he's a very loyal listener, because he has a local business and he hears me talk a lot about content marketing, but he doesn't see how content marketing helps his local business. Now, I sent an email out to say if I could mention his name and if I could mention his business. I haven't heard back from him, but I didn't want to delay the content this week, so I pushed it out anyway. If something happens later, I'll definitely mention it on a later date once I get his permission to do so. But anyway, just wanted to let you know what today's topic is all about. And it's basically, I want to show him that there are 5 tools that every local business should use for better content marketing, because I think he was a little stuck in knowing exactly what he needs to do for his business. All right. So again, 5 tools that every local business should use for a better content marketing results. So, as you know, it's a lot easier now to perform content marketing because we have social media. And irrespective of what social media platform you're going to use, you should be sharing whatever content that you put out and make sure that you target your market. But I'm going to talk to you about 5 tools that you have to have starting now. If you don't have these tools, you have to use them. And again, I'm going to have links to these tools in the show notes so that way you don't miss out. Okay. So the number one thing that you want to have, and this has been my secret weapon over the past, I want to say 9 years now that I've been using this tool. And it's a tool called SEMrush. So for those of you who don't know what SEMrush is, SEMrush is a tool that's going to help you, A, spy on your competition, B, identify keywords. How many times have you heard me talk about selecting proper keywords? I'm sure you've heard me talk about it a multitude of times during this podcast series. And today's no different, because without the right keywords, your business goes nowhere. Really and truly. And I've shared a number of other tools And most of the tools that I've shared so far have been free tools But let's be frank, no pun intended. Free doesn't mean better. And you remember, you get what you pay for, right? So I'm going to provide you with a secret of all online marketers, and it's called SEMrush. I mean, it's a great tool to use to find great keywords for you to start researching. So topics are very important. So once you have a topic that you want to talk about, how do you make sure that the topic, that's a hot topic, but how do you know which is the right keyword for you to actually go after so that people can find that topic in your content? You use a tool called SEMrush. The other tools that I've provided for you in the past work just as good. But SEMrush is going to give you some details that's beyond great. And I don't want to go too deep into what it does, because this is not a episode on SEMrush, or this is not I'm not here to decipher what it's all about and how does it work. But I'm just pointing out to the tool. It's got a lot of help features in there so you can actually figure it out. Now, the price of this thing after a 14-day free trial is anywhere between $99, well, let's call it $100 to $400, depending on what level you need to be at. Most of you would benefit from the $200 level. So you don't have to go always for the $400. So most of you would benefit from the $200. The $100 one has its limitations. And again, maybe one of these days I'll have a SEMrush podcast so I can break down the levels. But just know that it will set you back $200 a month to use this tool. Now, tool number 2 is Canva. For those of you who are not familiar with Canva, you should get familiar with it. It's a it's a great tool, especially in social media when you want to have posts that have original graphics actually help you get found a lot quicker with the algorithms on most of these social media platforms. So you create, you create a nice post. You have a graphic, and you start seeing more of your content spread out quicker organically, because you don't have, say, a graphic. Excuse me, a graphic that everybody has. Because if you have Shutterstock, or if you have any of those things, everyone's using these things, right? So, but if you can create your own graphics using something like Canva, and Canva is designed for a non-graphic designer, someone like myself who's a non-graphic designer. So if you want to put something quick and dirty, I mean, I have a team that does it all for me, but if it's 2:00 in the morning and I'm not going to bother them, and I have an idea and I'm going to put it out on social media and I'm going to do it right there without having to wait until the morning, I'm going to do it on Canva. It's a really, really cool, quick and dirty way of doing it, and it gets your content out there. Now the price for Canva, there is a free version, but if you want to go a little bit, nicer, there is a pro plan that's $12.95 per month, and then there's one for enterprise users. You probably won't need that, but that's like $30 a month. So, but for most of you, maybe all of you who are listening to this, would do just fine with the $12.95 per month one. The free version has its limitations. I wouldn't even mess with it. Just go ahead and pay the $12.95 a month and you'll be good. Okay, so the third tool that I have is a thing called Vidyard. Vidyard is cool. it's more than just, video hosting. It's put it this way. I said this in other podcasts episodes. 2020 is the year of the video, and each year becomes more and more important for you to do it. So if you haven't incorporated videos into your marketing strategy, it's time to get it done. So luckily, there's a relatively new tool, like I said, called Vidyard. Vidyard. That's VIDYARD. Okay. It makes you create professional looking interactive videos, and it kind of forces you to have call to actions. You guys heard me say many times how important call to actions are with any content that you put out. And again, video content is something that you want to put out all the time. So with Vidyard, it's the same thing, kind of like with Canva. There's a free version to it, but if you really, really are serious about it, you want to start with their $15 a month plan, and then work up from there as you see fit. I mean, it's really, really cool to disperse your video content using Vidyard. People say, well, Frank, there's YouTube. Yeah, but Vidyard gives you a professional look. You can have, and then once you're done with Vidyard, then you could put it up on YouTube. But it really helps you create videos that are engaging, create videos that look like a professional edited it for you and everything. You can put graphics up and call to actions on there. Very interactive, clickable stuff on the video itself. So, and then that's what you put up on YouTube. So I would highly recommend a tool like Vidyard. Now, the next two tools are stuff that you've heard me talk about all the time, and it's and they're both free. So number one is WordPress. I would not use anything for content marketing that's not WordPress. To write your blogs or et cetera. You want to use WordPress. It's 100% free. If you go to WordPress.org, you can download its latest version, and then you're good to go. Okay, there's really no need not to use something like WordPress, especially if you want to put content out there. And it's the quickest way to get your news promoted for small businesses. Okay, and last but not least, one of your most important tools in the world, and is also free, by the way, it's Google Analytics. Google Analytics, I think one of these days, I am going to put a podcast episode just on how to read. It's going to be hard for me to do it. Maybe I'll combine it with a video /podcast so you can see my screen. But there are ways combining Google Analytics and another tool called Google Tag Manager, where you can track every single action that's going on with your content. So you know what content is actually giving you the best results, whether it's people sticking on the page long enough, people sharing your content here and there, where they're sharing it from. They're sharing it from social media. Is your video content what's being shared the most? What are people clicking on? Is which graphic on Canva that you created is actually being shared the most and being publicized, etc., etc. And that's really why you need something like a Google Analytics, is because you want to be in a position to know what's working and what is not. So there you have it, folks. Those are the 5 tools that you use, you should know how to use to improve upon your content marketing efforts. As again, content marketing is here to stay. It's been a strong thing here at Local Business Marketing Solutions since 2015 is when I started really pushing it hard, and it's grown beyond. Some of these tools, to be honest with you, weren't even around in 2014 when I started. In 2015, excuse me. Like Vidyard wasn't, Canva wasn't. Canva I think came 2016. All the others were. But anyway, that is it for today's episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, subscribe to this podcast so you could be notified of upcoming episodes. All of the links that I've talked about on this will be in the show notes. So be sure to head over there now and grab it and see what I'm talking about. Maybe you can make an evaluation of some of these tools yourself. So until next Friday, this has been episode 9 of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care. And bye for now.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. Don't forget, any links that were mentioned during the broadcast will be available to you in the show notes, so be sure to grab them while you have the chance. Incidentally, if you have any topics that you would like for us to discuss on the show, be sure to send an email to the email provided in the show notes, or click the Contact Us link and let us know what topic you would like us to help you with, and we'll be sure to add it to our schedule. If you would like for Frank and his team to look at your digital marketing presence and give you a free evaluation, simply click the Request a Free Consultation link in the show notes to get a hold of them. That being said, until our next episode, make it a successful digital marketing day. Peace out.